In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 simple yet powerful exercises, and it's only going to take you 10 or so minutes a day, and if you stay consistent with it, it'll transform the speed and precision of your sim racing drastically. Once I committed to these exercises, my driving quality completely changed, and this has helped thousands of my students as well. The first thing, the biggest problem that most people have is that they lack a base level of hand-eye coordination. So the first exercise that I want to give you requires 3 tennis balls, and it's something you may have heard of before. Surprisingly, using tennis balls is an amazingly effective way to level up your coordination, and I like to break this drill down into 3 different parts. And the reason improving your hand-eye coordination is so important is because in racing, everything comes down to your signal to noise ratio. Signal is the quality of your inputs, the steering, braking, and throttle commands that you intend to send the car. Noise is everything that interferes, so your lack of muscle memory, hesitation, fatigue. Output is what the car actually does on the track, which is always a mix of both. The higher your signal to noise ratio, the more of your intention makes it cleanly into the car's behavior. And that's exactly what this drill focuses on. So first, I just use one ball and I throw it from one hand to the other, trying to keep a nice arc, and I keep my vision locked on the ball at all times. During this drill, it's important to emphasize this cupping motion with your arms as you throw the ball. It's gonna feel weird, it's gonna look weird, but trust me, it will help at the later stages. Once you're comfortable with that, we move to level 2, where we grab 2 balls and we build on that first exercise. So we throw from one hand to the other, but as soon as we release the ball from one hand, we throw the ball in the other. So as soon as we release that ball, we throw the second. And we always want to keep the same rhythm. So always releasing with our right hand first, and then throwing with our left. And this will take a little bit of getting used to, but once you get it nailed, you can move onto the 3rd level. Now we move to level 3, where we tie it all together. Remember that cupping motion I mentioned in level 1? Now is when it actually comes into use. So we'll start with 2 balls in the right hand and 1 ball in the left. And you start off just like level 2. Release 1 ball from your right hand, and just before it drops, you release the left one. But now we keep it continuous. And for some of you who are a bit smarter, you'll realize that this drill is juggling. Don't worry about being perfect, you're not trying to join a circus. It's just to build up the crucial building blocks we need, so when we're racing and we want to do something, our body is actually capable of executing that command. The second thing that most people have is that they death grip the steering wheel every single time that they race. And I bet a lot of you are probably thinking, Jimmy, why does that even matter? A great racer is constantly communicating with the car through the wheel. The more data points and information we can extract from the car, the easier it will be for us to determine what we should be doing. Driving at its root is about absorbing feedback and then processing and applying that information into commands that will make the car act how you want. And the steering wheel gives us crucial information on the state of our tires, whether we're understeering or oversteering. But if you're death gripping it, what do you think happens? We lose all of that feedback, all of that information. The signal comes through numb to our hands, and then we complain that the car isn't behaving how we want it to. So the exercise I want to give you is to load up any car and track combo and just drive for 5 minutes a day. And while you're driving, try and hold the steering wheel as lightly as possible, through the corners, through whatever, it doesn't matter. Always imagine that you're holding onto baby ducklings, where if you squeeze too hard, well, you know what'll happen. After driving like this, you'll notice 2 main things. First, you'll be able to predict a lot better what the car is actually doing at any given moment. And second, you'll realize that the car does a lot of the driving for you if you let it. Next time you practice this drill, notice how many small corrections and adjustments the steering wheel will make when you're not death gripping it. This lets you corner harder and faster because the car is better balanced. By the way, if you like these exercises and want to dive deeper, I actually have a 360-page book available on my website in PDF format, which covers everything driving technique related. So check it out, link is in the description. The next one I like to call intentional downshifting, and the name more or less reveals what it's about. When I first started sim racing, I never even thought about using downshifting as a tool to drive faster, and that kept me slow for the longest amount of time. By applying downshifting strategically, you'll learn to manipulate weight transfer to gain sharper cornering and better control. So the exercise I want you to perform is really simple. Drive a corner like you normally would and notice how much rotation your car generates. For a lack of better terms, how happy your car is to rotate. Does it feel willing to turn, or is it sort of reluctant? Now, with that in mind, that fresh example, I want you to drive the same corner again, but this time, during the braking zone, downshift as fast as you can, with your goal being to make the engine scream as loud as possible. Your last downshift should be done right before you start steering into the corner, and what you should notice is that the car will turn and rotate a lot more. And if you want to make this effect even more potent, then you can mix in some light trail braking to see how much rotation the car is really capable of achieving. Click this video here to learn the 6 racing habits I wish I knew sooner to drive faster. And if you're ready and want to learn in a more structured way, then grab my book, link is in the description.